Hey everybody, welcome to the Teachings of Joseph. I am Cindy Edison. This is segment 3 of the last of this series for book 1 of the Allow Your Soul to Lead series. Hopefully you've listened to the first 3 messages. We're giving an overview of this introductory series that Joseph has given us. They are laying the foundation for the expansion of the human aspect, that's us, into our new form. We're creating a new human aspect, the collective us. Individually, we're creating it, and as we move beyond the realm of fear, on an individual basis, we are expanding the human collective. So this material that they bring forth is a guideline for us to move forward into this new vibration that they represent. They are the vibration of the new earth, which means that they represent the new earth in its non-physical form. So in order for us to create it, we need to offer the matching physical vibration, right? And their vibration has no fear. So they are coaxing us and guiding us beyond the realm of fear through the contrast, beyond the realm of fear, so we can match up with them and create the new earth. And in the process, we are creating the new human aspect simultaneously, which is us. Because when we move out of fear that we've been living in for eons of time, ever since humans existed, we've been in the realm of contrast, right? We created it. So now they're leading us forward so we can move into a new understanding of who we really are on the vibrational side. And of course, our internal vibration, the soul vibration of us, if you will be pure, and we will be creating all the time from that realm instead of the realm of fear. That means that if you followed us, you know this, when you are in alignment with your soul and you're creating from alignment, all your manifestations are therefore in alignment. You cannot create an in alignment manifestation from an out of alignment position. Can't do it. It's the whole trying to fit the square peg in the round hole kind of thing. It just doesn't work. And in our case, you can't even slam it with a hammer. Doesn't work that way. Anyway, I want to get started because this is really fun. But before I do, I want to say that because this is our last segment in this series, and I've been asking for this since the first one, actually, email your questions to us at the website info@theteachingsofjoseph.com. For the 4th video, for the 4th podcast, I'm going to do a video podcast, and I'm going to be reading the questions from everybody who wants to participate in this thing. It's going to be fun. They're being put into a folder, so we're not seeing them before the podcast. So we'll be reading them live on the podcast, and Joseph will be answering them for us. So that'll be really fun. So get those in as we move forward here. I'm going to give everybody 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'll put the podcast out. Okay, let's move on to today. It's my favorite part of every book. Now, I have to say that I have absolutely loved the process of writing these books. Excuse me while I take a sip. The experience that I've gotten from this material coming through me is amazing, because when you feel it first and then you experience it, it's like a whole new animal. It's really cool. So I want to say I'm very grateful, and I'm grateful for you guys for supporting us. This is a great teaching, and we're brand new. We're brand new on the scene here, so there's a lot of good stuff here. Anyway, we put 7 quotes. Everybody loves these quotes worldwide. We're global. It's so cool. Because Joseph is a no-nonsense kind of channel here. They are to the point, direct, which is why I know I've always been that way. And it makes sense to me now that why I'm teaching this way. It's so me. It's so me. Anyway, all of the quotes we put in the books are applicable to the subject of the book. So we are going to be talking about the aspects today. These quotes are about the aspects, namely the soul, the ego, and the human aspect. So let me get to number 1. Okay, really dry today for some reason. Okay, so the first quote says, when you resist your ego's participation, you are resisting an element of communication with your soul. Understand the true purpose of the ego. Love and appreciate it as your soul does. So we've been teaching this a lot. Well, since day 1. This is the first book when they bring out the ego aspect, because the current teaching is from the realm of fear. The current teaching is a teaching of fear, which says, basically, the ego's out to get you. The ego's out to get us. The ego stops us from doing things, or the ego wants you to fail. Well, no. The ego is an aspect of the soul, which means it was conjured and created from love. So those elements of fear and, bullying, I call it bullying. I mean, it's really been given this bad rap. So when you have those elements do not exist in your soul's vibration. Your soul's vibration is one of pure love, pure love. So that teaching is from fear, and it kind of pisses me off, because the last thing I need while I'm living this contrast is to have something else that I am told I cannot control that is attacking me or has the ability to attack me and stop me from living in joy. It just sounds so ridiculous to me now, but it is still being taught. So I'm going to read you Joseph's In a Nutshell. That's what they call it, In a Nutshell. They kind of boil it down for us, what this means when they wrote it. Okay, so they said, you are multi-dimensional beings with many aspects, experiencing their vibration on different timelines. The ego aspect of you is an important partner for your experience in the earth realm. The key to living out your purpose, the purpose with which the soul chose to experience this physical life, is to communicate with not only your non-physical aspect, which is your soul, your higher consciousness, but the ego aspect whose vibration is one of the earth plane. The ego communicates with the third dimension, with the fear. The ego understands it. It accompanies... Well, I'm getting off track. Sorry. Okay. They go on to say, this understanding of the true purpose of the ego offers instant relief in that there is no pushing against or trying to ignore it or trying to transcend it by beating it down. Your ego is not evil. Your ego is not doing anything to you and does not cause you to do anything you don't want to do. It simply presents choice. It presents options for thought, therefore opportunity for abundance in every part of your life. Coming to understand the relationship between the soul and the ego, and then trusting the ego to do its job, is a wise choice, we say. Some call spiritual information tools, and in a sense, it is. We say these are inherent knowings, and all you need do is remember them by remembering who you really are. You are an aspect of your soul or God consciousness, and it is an aspect of you. You are an aspect of your ego as well, and it is an aspect of you. All aspects are of God consciousness who have purpose, and the ego's purpose is mandatory for what we call a successful life in the earth plane. And we define successful as abundant in love, peace, and joy, ever expanding and evolving as and with the all of God. So the ego is our partner in the third dimension. So the soul guides us, leads us forward through emotional guidance, right? When we are choosing thoughts, if you listen to the last segment, hopefully you did, because it was a good one about choice. If you listen to the last segment, go back to the river where all the thoughts that have ever been thought are floating in the river. The red ones and the white ones were mine, remember? And when I choose a thought, I feel it first. The soul and the ego, both on each sides of us, right, are giving us emotional guidance based on the thought we're choosing that has a vibration. It's the vibration of the thought we're feeling, right? So if the thought feels good, then go with it. Then that's a soul thought. If the thought is evoking anything that's not love, which is anger and resentment or jealousy or, depression, loneliness, everything that is really the result of the acknowledgement of separation between you and your soul's vibration, which means there's no vibrational agreement. You're out of alignment. So the ego, the soul, doesn't get messed up in those kinds of thoughts because the soul is all love. The soul says, yeah, we know we're there, but we've moved beyond it. That's why we're here. Anyway, the ego pops in and says, I'll do it for you. And the ego says, if you pick that thought, if you choose to focus on that thought, this is how it's going to feel. And the ego starts nudging us, right? And we start to feel whatever emotion that vibration is going to evoke within us. So the ego, and if we choose another one, when we keep choosing these thoughts, we're creating momentum around them, which by law of attraction brings more like vibration. Okay, we all know this is how we create our reality. So the ego's role is to point out from a third dimensional perspective when we are choosing thoughts that are out of alignment, which will result, therefore, in out of alignment manifestations. And that's what we're trying to avoid here, right? The only way to do that is to not choose those thoughts, and they're all there to choose. And so are the loving thoughts. So we're at a splitting point here. The worlds are, we're exampling, and we are experiencing, witnessing the delineation of the two worlds right in front of us. And the ego's purpose is very important to this teaching because we carry angst about the current teaching, right? We blame the ego. What is the ego? Where did it come from? Somebody tell me, where did it come from? And, it's not, I think I heard somewhere from somebody, I don't know, that the ego was created by man. Well, no, that's not true. The fear was created by man. The ego is created by the soul in order to assist the man in recognizing the fear. So they're always giving us help. They're always helping us to get out of the messes that we create. It's amazing. So let this definition of the ego sit with you for a minute, and I know you're going to feel relief because I did immediately. I went, oh my God, that makes so much sense to me. It makes so much sense. So that brings us into the second quote, which reads, the ego spews warning signals by way of negative emotion in order to let you know you are not in alignment with your soul and therefore off course. That's exactly what it does. In a nutshell, they say, moment by moment choosing is how you are creating your physical reality. Your thoughts are sending out vibrations which are being met by the universal law of attraction, which is vibrational. It's like the universal law of gravity. It never misses. It never fails, and it is only consistent. In each moment, as you choose which thoughts you'll focus on and which you'll let go by, you are at the point of creation. With each negative thought, whether it be sadness, unworthiness, jealousy, anger, and the like, comes feeling emotion. And with each loving, peaceful thought comes feeling emotion as well. This is the choosing ground for your moment-by-moment life experience. Negative emotion is caused by one thing. It is never by or through anything or anyone outside of yourself. This is a big misnomer. All negative emotion is indication of the gap between the perspective of the human aspect by way of the ego and that offering of fear of a subject and the soul's knowing of the same subject. So you have two contrasting vibrations. You're out of alignment. So there is only vibrational agreement. So you're either agreeing with love or you're agreeing with fear. And the ego's role is to let you know when you're going sideways a little bit. We get in these tangents. The human side of us, it's familiar to us. Anyway, they say we suggest choosing wisely, which means choosing the thoughts that will take you toward your conscious desired creations based on how they feel emotionally. Recently, Joseph gave us a quote that said, oh, I think I just lost it. They said, we want you to feel, this is not verbatim, of course, we want you to feel a thought you choose before you choose to focus upon it. Remember Abraham says you have 17 seconds to kind of play around, So we're saying, we're going to add to that a little bit and say, the ego gives you opportunity and the soul gives you opportunity to feel the thought you're choosing. And if you get a high five from your soul, you're in alignment. If you feel crappy, you feel anything that's not of love, the ego's nudging you, starting to nudge you, get back in alignment, get back in alignment. So it's I think it's expanded now to 23 seconds or something like that, but because we are more aware now, and so we're aware of the thoughts we're choosing are creational thoughts. We are creating all the time. And the vibration, as we expand our awareness, the vibrations move faster because there's momentum behind everything. Even this book, this 4-book series has evolved since I wrote it. We wrote it. It has evolved, and that is because I have evolved. My understanding has expanded. So you're going to see the evolution of this message. We're starting at the beginning here, and you're going to be, if you follow this, you're going to be able to not only experience your own expansion from the teaching, but you're going to be able to witness mine. So it's really cool. Okay, so let's move on to number 3. You cannot profess to feel love for God and feel any less for yourself, for the illusion of two is universally one. Your soul is God who resides within you and simultaneously within all. That's where we're all connected as the one through our souls, right? Our individual souls are aspects of God, and our souls, this is how I see it, our souls, all unlimited numbers of them, are what make up God. At least that's our definition. So in a nutshell, Joseph goes on to say, Jesus said, "The kingdom of God is within you." This statement has been translated and understood in many different ways. This statement means the soul of God is within you. It is your soul who is the aspect of God expressed through your physicality. It is the whole of you, you see, and contains within its unlimited boundaries all the aspects of who you are as well. All is created by choice, and you are part of this all. We define the use of the word God as the all. There is not one being who rules the universe, but one being who is made up of all of itself, who participates in the vibrational agreement and eternal manifestation of the universe. You are powerful beings who are the creators. We heard many of our friends profess their undying love for who they refer to as God, who they were taught was God up in the clouds, yet they feel diminished and unworthy of its presence simultaneously. This is simply a confused vibration and one that is dominant in fear, for you cannot be less than God consciousness, for that is the essence of who you really are. This way of thought is a teaching of fear and separation. There is nothing outside of you to worship, for you are the aspect you are holding yourself separate from. As you raise your vibration and expand your awareness to include higher consciousness, you will understand this God you speak of is, in essence, you. And as you feel authentic love for yourself, you feel authentic love for others. This is the expressed love of God consciousness in its authentic form. Oh, so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Can't you feel the truth in that? It just feels so true. Everything is, man, you go back there, I look back and I say, wow, I really believed that. And I understand that at that time, that was my level of awareness. So we're moving forward in our understanding of who we really are, which is the point of this entire series. Okay, so number 4, I guess we're at number 4. Every spiritual teaching has one purpose, and that is to encourage you toward alignment with who you really are. So there are unlimited teachers out there, all teaching their own style through their own channels, based on their own experiences and knowing, and every teaching is individual and unique. And you are resonating with whatever teaching is at your level of awareness at any given time. As we expand, and all of you have experienced this, your teachers change and shift, right? I started with psychics and astrologers and channelers through the years, and just when I look back, oh my God, it was like a whole stairway of evolution for me. And they were all so wonderful and so helpful at that time during my own expansion. So as we expand, we are given new teachers. New teachers step up. I'm one of them. You are one of them. If you are being drawn to Joseph's message, you are on the leading edge, as Abraham says. We are leading edge teachers of universal truths. They are universal truths. Okay, so in a nutshell, Joseph goes on to say, through all of human evolution, there have been great strides made throughout eternity that have exampled the wisdom, creativity, and the passion of the soul of the human aspect. There have been scads of teachers who have come, teaching from one side of the spectrum to the other, so all have the opportunity to resonate with that which is truth for them. The forms and lists of teachers can barely be counted anymore in your history, but the one theme throughout spiritual teaching that has been consistent is the oneness of God consciousness and how everything is part of everything else. It is your vibrational alignment with your soul that this truth is apparent, not only in your view, but in your feeling of it as well. Our dear friends Abraham teach, one in alignment is more powerful than 1,000,000 who are not. No truer statement has been made about the importance and availability of your own alignment to your soul. The God within you, powerful, accessible, available, and at your service as you are service to it. This, my friend, is the eternal truth of the human aspect, walking the earth as the soul of God consciousness in all its glory and grace. Again, beautiful, just beautiful words telling us this is who you are, people. You are us and we are you. We're all in this together. When Abraham said that, wow, it rang so true. Doesn't it ring true when they teach we're all in this together? We are all at different levels of awareness, all coaching each other forward. Just beautiful. Okay, number 5 or 6, I don't know. You must choose your thoughts wisely. If you choose your thoughts of this world, you will stay in this world. I'm just going to move right into the nutshell. When the ego offers thought, the offering is of its world, the third dimensional plane. Actually, I'm going to go off the nutshell here because I stumbled on this. And the reason I stumbled on it is because this teaching has expanded in the 3 years it has been out. We wrote this in November of 2017. And now my understanding of the ego's purpose has evolved. So I'm not going to read this, although I love this. But it's behind. So I'm going to move us forward if you will allow me to do that. If you want to read it, get the book. But I'm going to move on and say that the quote now, I'm going to restate the quote, you must choose your thoughts wisely. If you choose the thoughts of this world, you stay in this world. So what they're saying here is, again, choosing our thoughts. Are we choosing from love? Or are we choosing from fear? Are we in alignment or out of alignment? Which ultimately means if we are in alignment, we are creating from the space of love. That means the manifestations are all in alignment too. Cannot be another way. However, if we're creating from fear, choosing from fear, and a lot of this is done by default because people are not aware of what they're doing. They're not aware of their ability, and they're doing it anyway, of creating your own physical reality. You're creating it, and you're carrying it with you to create. The vibration you are creating from is your physical vibration that is made up of your beliefs and your thoughts, your points of view, your perspectives. Everything that makes up how you see your reality is created by you. So that means you can change it at any time by shifting your thoughts, because thoughts are vibrations, and all vibrations manifest differently. Just like we are all unique and different, because we are physical manifestations of our soul's vibration. It's so cool. It's just so big. But it's so simple at the same time. It's so simple. They just keep saying it over and over and over in unlimited different ways. Beautiful. Okay. The expression of love is not contingent on the expressions of others. In a nutshell, I'm just going to read it to you. When you are feeling and expressing love, you are in alignment with your soul, whose natural vibration is that of love. Therefore, it is not contingent on receiving anything back from outside of yourself. This is an important teaching, guys. I hear this all the time. They go on to say, we hear our human friends say things like, I cannot love him or her because they do not love me, when in essence the soul of them is feeling love, and this is its focus. It is not the return of it from outside of yourself, but the feeling of it from inside, where your soul lives, that is the cause of the expansion within you. Holding love from someone in retaliation or revenge-like behavior is an offering of the ego and perpetuates the separation between the human aspect and the soul. It is, of course, an illusion, for there is never separation, only the feeling of it, which is fear, which means you're choosing from fear. That's what that's an indication of. That's all. The more love you feel, hang with me here, people, the more aligned you are with yourself, the human aspect, and the soul, and the ego aspect as well. For the soul loves the ego aspect too, and sees its offerings as not only necessary, but put forth in a loving manner in order for the soul's love to expand the God consciousness through us. That expansion comes through the human aspect. They end this by saying, when you withhold love from someone for whatever reason, you are playing in the ego's pen, for the soul does not withhold itself, but desires only to expand itself for the purpose of its own eternal growth and the growth and expansion of the universe. I had a friend say to me one time, sweet, very spiritual, very aware, really taken this process in stride. She's doing so great. Anyway, she had a separation with a guy, and she was kind of coaching him along. It was a very soulful relationship, very soulful. And he left it. He got to his point. A lot of people are doing this. I had one do it too. Get to the point of expansion, and the fear wins. The fear, for now, the fear takes over, and they are so afraid they don't move forward anymore. Kind of freaks him out sometimes. So she kept going, and he stopped. That's what happens. It's happening a lot now. People are expanding through their own vibration, and this is, when you get on a new timeline, that vibration is out of alignment with those before that were in your life before. So this is why we separate. We vibrate away from each other based on the timeline that we're on at any given time. So if you expand and grow together, that's cool. You move through it together. Anyway, they split, and she was upset, rightfully so. She was upset, and she said, I was so kind to him. I'm so sorry I was so kind to him that he could leave like this. He really insulted her. Actually, it was was a bad move. You know, in human words, it was a bad move. But anyway, Joseph said to her, you were not kind to him because he was kind to you. You were kind to him because you are a kind person. And it shifted her perspective right away. You know, we don't act a certain way based on how we expect other people to treat us. We get in alignment and we act from love all the time. You can't go wrong by focusing on your own alignment. You just can't. That's where all the good stuff is. I love this quote, and it is quote number 7. It is the end of book 1. And I love this quote, and I'm going to move from the quote right into their nutshell because it's adorable. Okay, the quote says, your ego is what makes you human. Your soul is what makes you God. Oh, I just love that. In a nutshell, at this point, we don't believe any explanation is necessary for these words, only that as you move forward on your path, you will begin to realize the power in knowing the truth of them. I just love that, and I'll throw in my comment about it. It's wonderful. So they're saying the human aspect of the soul and the ego aspect of the soul and the soul are one. You are one. We rely on the ego to let us know when we're out of alignment with our soul, because although the ego is offering us negative emotion, it is acting out of love. Isn't that cool? The soul, when we were all one together, the soul makes the ego. It has a desire, right? So it manifests this vibration that is the ego, and it comes to help in the third world of contract. The third dimension, sorry. It is kind of a third world, isn't it? God, what's going on out there? Okay, so that was so fun. It was so fun. That's going to do it for us. I am so grateful to everybody that followed this teaching series and for bearing with us. We are new on the scene here. This is my first set of these, and I stalled for a long time because I was afraid of it. You know, I had never done it before, and finally Joseph said, Cindy, just do it. Just do it, and just do it, and you'll learn from the doing of it. And it has been so much fun, and you guys have been great. Find us at theteachingsofjoseph.com and Instagram, where I'm posting their beautiful quotes 3 or 4 times a day at The Teachings of Joseph. Send your questions. Send your questions to info at theteachingsofjoseph.com and hang out with us. This is going to be a great teaching, and it's going to be really fun. So bear with me, please. Have some mercy. Love you guys. Take care.